The best of the KQ Morning Show on 92 KQRS.
The National Toy Hall of Fame has announced their finalists for the year. The National Museum of Play is the official title, but they have their Toy Hall of Fame, and they induct new toys every year. Here are some of the finalists for this year. Balloons.
Yeah. What?
Balloon.
Just that's it.
I mean,
balloons.
Simple,
I guess
effective.
the stick is in, remember?
Balloons. That's
Not even
right.
water balloons?
Just
balloons?
Water balloons, bleach balloons, whatever you want to put in a balloon. Just balloon. The idea of a balloon, it puts a smile on children's faces. As a kid, I loved balloons. I loved water balloons. I liked blowing up balloons. I loved helium balloons. I loved huffing helium and having a funny voice. Balloons are great. I think that's a strong one. 651-989-ROCK is the talk and text line. Text us your favorite toys that you think need to get in. Balloons. What about this? Apples to apples. You ever play that with the kids?
Yeah, sure.
Little card
Tons of
game?
times.
I don't know that one.
Never enjoyed it myself. It was never quite my thing. It kind of, my gears kind of got ground up in that one.
What was the thing going on with apples to apples?
It's just like you compare words or sayings, and you get things that are. It's like a game of synonyms, basically. Kind of what I remember. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was. They were trying too hard.
I think I played it once and there was drinking. I felt like it was a precursor to Cards Against Humanity.
Well, now I didn't pour cocktails with the kids, Ryder. So that's where I went wrong.
Right.
Thanks for telling me way too late.
Apples to apples to sadomasochism.
Also on the list, simply this: the trampoline.
Oh, the good old,
in all of its
absolutely.
forms and fashions, sure. Here's the one I love the most: the hobby horse, or as I knew it, the stick horse. A stick, a broomstick with a horse head and a little reins that you hold on to is up for induction. It's got to get the right votes, and something tells me it's going to go in, and that something is the fact that there are now hobby horsing championships all around the world. I kid you, there was one in the U.S. earlier this summer. Last week in Frankfurt, Germany, there were 300 riders, mostly kids, but 20 adults, jumping around a gymnasium. There's 1,500 people in the stands. They're cheering on people doing like an obstacle course with a stick horse in between their legs.
Where's carbon monoxide when you need it? I never really bought into that. When I was a little kid, my grandmother, West River, South Dakota out there, we always got the pistol set, the 2 6-shooters and, and the cowboy hat. And then we would get the stick horse. And very quickly, we were like, never sold on that. Even as a toddler, quickly, we would turn it upside down, and we had a hockey stick.
I was going to say, you could hit things or people with that stick horse.
Right, no, we weren't riding around like a bunch of ponces.
Hard to look cool with a stick horse.
You can't look cool with a stick horse.
Hence the Germany competition, because, I read a quote from a 15-year-old kid who said, hobby horsing just gives me self-confidence, and I just enjoy doing it with other people. And you know what? If that's the case, then good for you. It's, you know what? Better that than sitting in your basement playing video games all day long, I guess. You're getting a little exercise. You're jumping around. But what I really like is when the stick rubs up against my genitals.
That's what I'm thinking, right? It's just a little...
I jumped over the little creek and the hurdle, and I got what they call a big boner. Yeah. I love my hobby horse. 651-989-ROCK is the text line. Let us know your favorite childhood toys. What needs to go in of the list? Let me go down a little bit more there. Do you think any of these should you got the stick horse. That's obviously... I'm voting yes. A game called Sequence. Don't know what it is. Trampoline. Transformers. Yeah, baby.
How's that not in
My Little Pony. Not in there. And by the way, this is the big one. Pokemon trading cards. Not in yet. I got to think they're going in with bells on.
The best of the KQ Morning Show on 92 KQRS.
There's a lot of people who spend time thinking about all kinds of things, like how can we improve that which most of us would never think needs improvement. Okay? Case in point. We all grew up learning our ABCs, our 1, 2, 3s. A lot of us learned the alphabet song.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Right away, you know exactly what I'm saying.
That's right.
Now, a whole bunch of teachers have gotten together, a bunch of smarty pants, and said, we need to clarify this alphabet song. We need to rework the alphabet song just a little.
Do we?
Just to be safe, just to be better. I'm just going to play the new version of the alphabet song that is apparently sweeping the nation, and then we'll talk about why this happened.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, HIJKLMNOPQRSTUVWXYZ. Now I never will forget how to say the alphabet.
I don't. Right?
Here's
Wrong.
the thing. Here's the teachers. The reason people are allocating pauses and stops. They're saying, well, first of all, kids thought LMNOP was all one letter. To which I say, you're damn right we did.
Yeah.
And that's what made it so exciting to learn it wasn't.
Right, exactly. The world needs broadcasters, too. It's okay. That's how we knew oh, you think that's one letter? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Give that one a microphone.
LMNOP.
He's going to be LMNOP.
Come on. And they thought Y and Z was YNZ. Okay, so what? This is the thing. Listening to that is the equivalent of me chewing a piece of aluminum foil. I'm not kidding. When she hits that first and then does the little beat and before the L,
D-E-F-G HIJKLMN.
No!
Opie. She almost gets the ope in there. The opie. Ope. I don't. Yeah, you don't need to tinker around with that one. All right, well,
leave it be.
But they've been doing this to us for a long time. Subtraction, addition, it's very basic. You put the one number on top, you put the littler number below it, and then you start carrying ones and sort of things and drawing lines through and put a one over there and that whole thing. And then my kids got home, I don't know, 3rd or 4th grade, a little math, a little addition, subtraction. I got you kids, sit down. I start doing it. And they're like, no, Dad, you're doing it wrong. That's not how they do it anymore. They line them up differently now, and we start on the left and work to the right. I'm like, what? If it was good enough for the Sumerians, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Totally insane.
Right away, already in 3rd grade, I was dumb dad. I was pissed off and a little chippy about it.
Yeah, I got a whole. I thought new math was something I grew up with, and I guess it was because I can remember very specifically my parents looking at math and saying it was different. We used to do it like this, and so I of course assumed, well, now we've perfected it; it'll never change again. And the same thing, my kids, they were explaining how you multiply. Well, if you got things in the brackets, you multiply that first, and do whatever they were doing. None of it made sense to me, and I just couldn't quite make sense of it at all.
Teachers, you don't have to change things up to stay relevant. We're not going to start teaching our kids, for God's sakes. You're always going to have, a healthy job market for what it is you do. I don't know. I don't know why they're doing it.
And by the way, at the end of the alphabet song, what's with the whole now I know I'll never forget all the letters in the alphabet? Well, why change that lyric? Why not just ask you to sing along with me like we always used to do?
Bunch of smarty
I
pants.
can remember learning, so as a kid growing up, Catholic grace before every dinner. Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we are about to receive from thy body through Christ. I didn't know what those words were. I said them phonetically till I was like 12. When I saw that grace spelled, I was like, bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts. I was like, that's what that means? I've been saying, like, bless the Lord and these none. I had no idea what it was.
8 kids in the house. You had your eye firmly on the entree. Like, am I going to get some of that?
It's like listening to an early 80s REM song. I don't know what the guy's saying. I'm just mumbling along with him. It was just, there's no...
I like the melody.
Read those 80s REM lyrics. You're like, do what? That's what he was saying?
Kids don't need the alphabet anymore anyway. We have the internet. Get rid of the alphabet. Get rid of a lot. You don't have it. Just give them a smartphone, and they're already the smartest person on the planet. Although I think this one, even for Gen Zers or millennials, I'm looking over there at you, Ryder. This one might freak you out. An 8-year-old boy recently said, and I laughed like, wait a minute, why do we? And he looked at me and he said, why are there numbers on a remote control?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Got me. I know. I said the same. I'm like, what? Well, because...
Wait, hold on.
Why
like a TV remote control?
Yeah, why are there numbers on it?
Why wouldn't there be?
Why would there be?
Because you got the voice activation now. You can just say, give me to whatever program.
When was the last time you punched in the number of your favorite channel? What is it, 118? What is that one I like? Nobody knows. You might know your local channels, I suppose, because it's been around for a while. You've got your Channel 5, 11, 4, and that 9 thing, that whole going on. But seriously, when was the last time you ever used a number on your remote control? And why there's an 8-year-old boy out there that wants to know why the hell we're still putting numbers on a remote control. It kind of threw me for a loop. Well, but even my daughters that are in that millennial age are going, oh, yeah, why do we?
This is really upsetting.
Are you upset?
Me. Yeah, it never dawned on me that I haven't punched a number on my remote in a long time. Damn it.
I know. Karsten, I got you, brother. You might be out there listening
really
this morning.
Strange. Yeah. It's kind of like they say you never know the last time you're going to carry one of your kids. You just one day look up and realize you haven't in a long time. This feels like that moment to me. I don't remember the last time I carried either of my children without trying to be funny, like as a much bigger kid. Right, you know what I mean? Like, but there's a moment when you're actually still picking them up and getting them in or out of the car or whatever. They're tired. And then one day you look up and go, I haven't carried either kid in a long time. I now feel that way with the remote control. I haven't pressed 28 for ESPN in years.
No, right. They don't do it. It's
that's really unfortunate.
Time marches on. So LMNOP, I guess, is what we're going with now right there. Don't forget, Steve, sing along.
EFG HIJKLMN OPQRST UVWXYZ. Now I never will forget how to say the alphabet.
Turn it off!
I tell you right now, man, I would never. I'm not a violent person. I don't ever think about like smacking someone, and it certainly would never ever strike a woman.
Yeah.
Except that woman. I don't want to strike her. I just want to, you know what I want to do? I want to put my hands on her shoulders and just give her a little shake and go, just relax.
No, don't.
Leave it. Leave it. What, is nothing sacred?
Yeah.
Come on.
She'd have a song for that, too. Let's turn that frown upside down. Come on, man. Steve.
A smile. What is it? A smile is a curve that sets things straight.
There it is. He's on board.
You know it's true.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. You're listening to the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zep, Tony, and Ryder on 92 KQRS.
We were talking a minute ago about all people finding all sorts of cocaine in the water, but you don't have to go to Florida apparently, because let's go to Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Just there's a suspected. Maybe it's over the counter, but there's some additives at play in this story. Fergus Falls, Minnesota. The police responded to a parking lot. A call was just saw a man get hit by a car, and police went there, and sure enough, a gentleman had been hit by a car in the parking lot. The car was being driven at the time by his girlfriend. They were on their way to a therapy session to work on the relationship. Story is this. The couple had been arguing all day. The victim felt like the relationship wasn't going to work out. They were on their way to a therapy session. He said, you know what? I don't want to go to therapy. I'm just going to tap out. Do you mind taking me home instead? His girlfriend, Veronica Gast, she stopped the car in the traffic lane next to this parking lot. She said, no, just get out right here. And he said, okay. Exited the vehicle, walked in front of the car to get to the sidewalk to walk home. And according to the victim, while walking in front of the car, the woman behind the wheel, his girlfriend, locked eyes with him, quote, like you would with a bus driver. And then she floored it to run him over. Wow.
I thought you were going to say like you might with a grizzly bear right before it charges you.
Jeez.
She ran him down.
He turned his body away from the car, went over the hood, struck the front windshield with his back, shattering the windshield.
Yeah.
Damn.
You can't shatter a windshield if you hit it at 4 miles per hour.
No, he launched into it.
She had some speed. The woman, the driver, told the officers the two had been arguing. She pulled over, and then she said she just drove away. He walked in front of me as I drove. She tried to say, look, I wasn't paying attention. It was an accident. And then he's like, no, she was glaring at me and floored it. She denied making eye contact before it happened.
Yeah.
He said, she said, really. Maybe take separate cars to couples therapy.
Wow.
Just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, there is that. Hey, it's time we need to go get into a room with a therapist. Yeah, you know what? You're right. Show up. Come in separate doors, sit down, leave through separate doors.
Here's the thing, dude. You're never going to find another woman that loves you that much. That's passion right there.
It's
the woman that wants to kill you is the woman that loves you.
That's one thing you could say about it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Trying to think of the biggest fight, biggest moment, if there was ever anything even approaching this in a relationship I've been involved in. And the answer is no. I can't.
No.
I can't recall.
Never feared for your life?
Never feared for my life. I had a moment with a girl who broke into my house. It was everything worked out okay, but there was some tense moments and it was a little weird, and then I got news that she had broken in and took a few of my items, things that she knew I cared about. They were returned, but I never had a face-to-face. We talked on the phone, and then through an intermediary, a hostage swap. Well, really, it was just I wanted my stuff back, but we never had it out like face-to-face.
Yeah.
Like that was the end of it. But that's it. I mean, I've been drama-free, thankfully, for the most part. I cannot imagine telling that story years later. Well, I was dating this one girl. What happened? She ran me over in a car. Yeah, that was tough. I mean, she broke into my house. That's good. That works.
Yeah.
Running me over with the car, whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever feared for my life. Sometimes my safety, once or twice, perhaps, or the safety of of my goods, perhaps. But not for my life. Yeah, that's passion right there.
That's it.
Again, separate vehicles on the way to therapy, or maybe just wait till you get to therapy. You're safely out of traffic and away from the vehicle before you decide to break up with her on the way to therapy.
Yeah, that's really good too. Like you realize the relationship's over. Let the drive be over.
Yeah.
Like don't interrupt the drive to say I got to get out of here. I think that's it.
I was at a dinner party one night, and everyone's just sitting around having fun, and just a couple of glasses of this, and just peaking. Everyone's having fun. It hadn't gotten weird yet, and the one gal said, "Well, actually, I don't know if I should say this or not, but I'm going to tell how we actually met." And he said, "Yeah, we met in a car accident. She rear-ended me in a stoplight." Okay. And she said, "Right, yeah, that's how we met." And then we started dating. It was great. But here's the thing I never told you, Craig. I ran into you on purpose. No. I saw you sitting in traffic. I'm like, he's hot. So when we got up to the next light, I got behind you. And I decided to rear-end you to meet you. And his mouth was white. It just buzzed. The place went, it was like somebody unplugged the jukebox at the bar.
Wow. My Jaguar.
Yeah. And it just got weird and quiet. And I think I was probably the only one laughing. And then that sort of petered out. And I was like, oh, dude. And they broke up.
I guarantee it.
Before dinner was over?
4 years in, and he's like, yeah, no, you. And she's like, what? It was, and yeah, she never quite understood.
No, I might earn her moxie. So you've heard stories of people do that in a grocery store. Yeah. They'll bang the carts, but that is a little extreme.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not going to be ignored.
Right.
Holy.
The best of the KQ Morning Show on 92 KQRS.
A young couple with a 2-year-old daughter went to Fujiyama Japanese restaurant the other day, and they ordered some apple juice, and they brought it in a little kid cup with a lid. And their daughter grabbed it and was like, yeah, all right, apple juice. And during the meal, they noticed, well, she's acting a little weird. She's acting kind of funny. Yeah, that's because the apple juice was house-made cooking wine.
Oh, I thought maybe it just fermented,
Nah, somebody grabbed the wrong stuff. It was inside the normal juice cup with a lid. Her behavior, as I said, her behavior became alarming. The parents went over and took the lid off and smelled it, and it's just clearly hooch.
Yeah.
There was a problem. They had to take her to the emergency room. Her blood alcohol level was 0.12.
Oh, okay.
So she wasn't going to drive home.
I was kind of blowing this off a little bit, overprotective parents.
No, 0.12 is real. Yeah, 0.12 is real for a 2-year-old.
Here's Mom.
She was swaying. She was falling over. She was leaning on the walls. She couldn't hold her head up. She was slurring her words.
I'm sorry, that was my date.
Yeah. Now, this story's only funny because it wasn't my kid.
Yeah,
no,
right.
Kidding. No, it's so they said that they went public with this. They let some people know about it, and they said, "Look, we just want to make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else. Like, just a little. Hey, you know what? We're just letting you know this happened for all the restaurants. But just be careful. Always double check." And that's it. We just would hate for another family to go through this.
Yeah, a little public service.
And then a day later, they called up again and said, "We have an attorney now."
we might want a little more.
That story hit the local news. How many attorneys were just like, well, their little radar went, wait, hold on, what? What happened? They. So now we'll see. We'll keep you updated as it goes. But the drunken 2-year-old kid at a restaurant, I can tell you, that'd be pretty jarring as a parent.
I don't understand how those mix-up are made back there. You've got cooking wine and apple juice. Maybe you just keep them in generic containers. I don't know, but yeah, not a mistake you can make. That's bad for business.
I don't have any information. I don't know where this place is on a map, but something tells me that was someone's idea of a joke.
Oh, that's a
I'm
bad
sorry,
joke.
Apple juice and cooking wine. No, you're not confusing those two things for one another.
I wouldn't think so.
Apple juice and canola oil, maybe.
I didn't know. I thought maybe they put them all in different plastic bottles and someone didn't read the label. I don't know how things work back there in the kitchen for these fine eating establishments. But yeah, that's a screw up the restaurant is going to end up paying for.
651-989-ROCK is the KQ talk and text line, and I believe we have Dana on hold with a story. Dana, are you there?
I'm here. Yeah.
Good morning, Dana. First things first.
Good morning.
Favorite band? What is it?
Oh, favorite band would be the Beatles.
I'm gonna go with that all day long. Favorite team in any sport?
Ball team. I'd have to go with OU. I'm from Oklahoma, and OU football is my favorite.
Coming, yeah.
Boomer Sooner OU? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Wow.
Boomer Sooner.
Yeehaw. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Man, back in the day, that was legit.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
They
fair
were the
enough.
team.
Well, Dana, what have you got for us?
All right. So, by the way, the young man that got drunk is listening today. So his name is Brian. Shout out to Brian. All right.
Brian?
So this was 1984-85. And for my sister's wedding, my mom made a drink, she called it, where she soaked pineapple and maraschino cherries in vodka for about 2 weeks. And so at the wedding, they're serving this drink, and everyone's giving the fruit to the little kids.
Oh, my God.
My son, Brian, who was the ring bearer, and his cousin, who was, I think, about 5, she was a flower girl. They're walking around just so drunk. It was hilarious, but at the same time, it's like, what the hell, Mom? She's a strong, Southern Baptist woman who never drank in her life.
Man.
Two little kids walk around drunk. It was funny, but yet, what do you do?
It's Wisconsin. That's just a good time. I was thinking about these parents with this glass of cooking wine instead of apple juice for their kid. Wisconsin, you can take your kid to a bar and legally buy them a drink, right? I think starting at age 5. I just made that part up.
Five might be a little young, but that's legit.
I made that up, but I know you can underage over there. But
Dana,
it's a rumor.
Thank you for the
Also
call,
at this
Dana.
wedding-
Hey, we're just glad Brian sobered up.
Took him a couple of days, but he finally did. But anyway, it was a lot of fun.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zepp, Tony, and Ryder on Minnesota's classic rock. 92 KQRS.
Johnny Van Zant, singer for Lynyrd Skynyrd since 1987, since the Freebird flew again, is on the horn with us right now on the KQ Morning Show. Johnny, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Well, we're doing great. It is a pleasure to speak with you, sir. For anyone who is unaware, and I can't imagine who that would be, you've been singing with the band since the band got put back together in 87, originally a tour to pay tribute to the great band Lynyrd Skynyrd. Could you have ever imagined in 1987 this thing would still be going with such a momentum and with such vitality?
I surely wouldn't. I wouldn't have thought. It started out as, an 8-week tour, and then we went away from each other for a little bit. I did a record called Brickyard Road for Atlantic during that time, and we just missed each other. It was almost like, to be honest, almost like the crash had happened. Everybody was kind of dormant again, and we said, let's get together and write some songs. So my buddy Ahmet Erdogan, one of the founders of Atlantic Records, gave us a deal, and we put out an album in 1991.
Yep.
It's called Lynyrd Skynyrd, 1991. And man, we just hit it and kept writing, and we never thought about writing another Sweet Home Alabama or Freebird, but we went, hey, we're going to just write and see if anything sticks.
Sure. Johnny.
And, man, it's been my honor and pleasure. It amazes me. I took a picture of a little kid. He was with his mom and dad right in front of me at one of the shows this year, and he probably was 6 years old, maybe, if that old. Mm-hmm. But he had on a Lynyrd Skynyrd shirt, and luckily they had headphones on him. But I had to take a picture of him, and because I went, you know what, this little guy loves it. He was just rocking out, and we were in Jones Beach just this past weekend. And there was a kid. I think his parents were all from either Russia or somewhere. They couldn't speak. The parents couldn't speak any English, but the kid, I brought him up on Simple Man because he was so darn cute. But my gist of the story is that I guess if we wouldn't hear playing it, man, those kids wouldn't get to enjoy the music live. And Skynyrd was always a live band,
Oh, yeah.
And just a pretty amazing thing to look out there. There's all different generations,
No question about it. 50 years since the debut album. Last year, the band, pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd. I mean, I was a little kid when that came out, but it was almost like immediately everywhere. You know what I mean? It was one of those bands that everybody just jumped on board with. When you guys did come back in '87, I'm kind of piggybacking on what you just said. I remember seeing footage and seeing the shows and the love and the impact that music had. It was just so visceral, and it was such an emotional time. It has not changed a bit. All these years later, anytime you see Skynyrd, you have now 4-5 generations of people, it seems like, and it still carries such an emotional punch. When you guys go into a song like Freebird, the lighters come up, but there are tears. I mean, it's still kind of mind-blowing how much that music resonates.
Yeah, my brother, he was from the west side of Jacksonville, but he was a prolific writer for common people, and those songs, each generation have basically hardworking, God-fearing people, and they gravitate towards these songs, and it's just an amazing thing to me. I guess maybe in a few years here, whenever I'm sitting on the porch smoking a big cigar and going, I wonder what the heck just happened.
Yeah.
I might be able to take it all in, but, right now I'm in the middle of it, and we're having fun, and we're out with ZZ Top, too, doing shows, and man, we're just having a good time and carrying on the legacy. We get people all the time going, you're a tribute band, there's no original members. I said, no, this goes way farther than being a tribute band. I said, this is blood, and last year, the year before last, we lost Gary Rosington, and man, before he passed, he had been carrying it on for the guys, along with myself. And he brought me in, and he said, man, I don't want this music to go away after I leave. And that rang true for me, and we'll see how long we go with it, man. But, hey, you know what? Right now we're enjoying ourselves, and the fans are coming out, and it amazes me. We just had 2 sellout shows this past weekend. Jones Beach, which is Long Island, up in Guilford, New Hampshire, and just blows my mind. So I love the fans, and bands say that about their fans all the time. Oh, our fans are the best people. Our fans are generational. So there you go.
For sure. No, it's really true. I mean, you got, like, to your point about it's not a tribute act. It absolutely isn't that. And with the number of people, I mean, every time I see if there's a new member of the band, chances are I've either played with the person or at least know them, at least met them. Every time I see a new member, I'm like, oh, that, of course, that's perfect.
Yeah.
There's so many people that step into those shoes, and trust me, there's not. I mean, I'm talking to our listeners when I say trust me. There's not a tribute. There's a deep respect and an honor, and it's like that's the point of this band to me. It's like, no, this is not just some band called Lynyrd Skynyrd. This is still, in a very real way, Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yeah, you know what, man? I grew up as a kid. Hell, I can remember the 1%. They were the 1% before they became Skynyrd. My parents, they couldn't find a place to rehearse, so my dad said, set up in the living room. you know.
Hey, well, Johnny,
and I remember watching them, and they wasn't that good back then. But
sure,
hey, it was fun to watch.
I got to ask you, Johnny, because I don't think I've ever seen anyone. I've never heard you speak about this. What was it like to be a teenager and your brother is Ronnie Van Zant? As Skynyrd takes off and they're taking over the world, was that cool? Was it weird? I would imagine you were suddenly. It had to be the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I never looked at him that way. I was always like, really? People are getting thrilled about this, you know? I mean, he was the big brother that bullied me and made me the guy that I am, you know? And, you know, they were always, him and Donnie I was the youngest of the three. So, man, I was the punching bag. They wanted to make sure I was tough, and knew how to sucker punch.
Yeah. Hey, man, there's a lot of good lessons when you're I can relate. I have older brothers myself. It's not easy, but you do get a heck of an education out of it.
Oh, yeah, you do. But, no, man, I never, even to this day, I never look at him that way. I mean, he was just Ronnie to me, you know, and my older brother, you know. So surely I admire what he did in a short period of time that he was here on Earth. And
but did you get any? But what about the other kids at school? Like, you're walking into school though, and then other people got to be looking at you a little differently all of a sudden.
Yeah, I guess, you know, but I was already in high school, so, you know, I was kind of like, hey, whatever. Okay, yeah, they're great.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Johnny
I
Van
know him. So.
Johnny Van Zant's with us on the KQ Morning Show. Skynyrd and ZZ Top this Friday at Treasure Island Resort and Casino.
Johnny, I don't even know why I never thought about asking this question. I don't know if you've ever been asked it. It just popped into my head when you were talking about growing up with Ronnie as your brother and all those guys in the band that you knew. Was Lynyrd Skynyrd your teacher as well?
No, you know what? He had retired by that time.
All right.
Yeah, and but you know what? He came around, you know, and was there, you know, for different occasions, and heck, he actually became famous here in North Florida. You know, you know, everybody was like wanting to hang with him.
So from your dad's living room to the Hell House, the legendary rehearsal space where the band really kind of figured out who they were and how they were going to sound. A lot of myth around that barn, essentially, the Hell House. And you guys launched your own whiskey called Hell House last year.
Yeah, we sure did, man. You know what? It came into play, and years ago when the band got back together, everybody was still drinking and partaking, you know, and we always used to kid, you know, hey, man, we ought to get our own liquor, you know, we'd save a lot of money. And this came about last year, and we were looking for a name, and I don't even know who the heck came up with it, but they said, what about Hell House? And I said, you know what, if I was a drinking dude and I was at the bar, I'd love to probably say, hey, give me a shot of Hell House. You know? And so it kind of went like that, but you know, the coolest thing about this is that we've been doing a lot of meet and greets, myself and Ricky Medlock. And, you know, man, we go out and we meet the fans, and it's just been a great, great thing for us because I love the fans. You know, they're me, you know.
Yeah.
They are us. The only difference is we get up there and sing some songs, or myself, and Ricky plays them. And but it's just been a great thing. And I've noticed that the women kind of like it more than the guys. So, you know.
I tell you what, man, I've seen Skynyrd a bunch. The one show that always sticks out the most in the late 90s, saw you guys in New Jersey at the, like where the Devils used to play, the arena up there. I think the Brendan Byrne Arena. And I was at the soundboard and watching and hearing New Jersey accents singing Skynyrd is one of those things I'll never forget. It was the funniest. This is right when the Sopranos had blown up. It was like 99, and I was looking around at all these Tony Sopranos getting their Southern rock on. It was one of my favorite memories ever.
We used the Soprano theme, you know, for our intro at one time because we loved the show so much.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Johnny, Skynyrd and ZZ Top again. The Sharp Dress Simple Man tour this Friday at Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Johnny, man, it is an absolute pleasure to talk with you. I know the gig's going to be great on Friday. Look forward to it. Thank you for calling in, brother.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Take care and God bless, man.
See ya. What an arrogant rock star he clearly is.
Yeah, what a diva.
Just the salt of the earth, dude. My gosh.
Yeah.
It's about as good old boy as it gets. And I'll tell you what, with an outdoor show down there like we've got coming on Friday night and that forecast, fingers are crossed.
Awesome.
With ZZ Top, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's 100 years of great music between those two. Actually, 105 with those two bands up there. ZZ started in like 69.
Blow out your voice singing along to every song.
The best of the KQ Morning Show on 92 KQRS.
Yeah, we're going to toast it up, and here's what we do. We pop in a slice of bread right in the toaster, right here in the studio, and we're going to give you a category. Then you name as many things that pop into your head as possible in 15 seconds before the toast pops. That's how it's done.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I believe we have lost one of our two callers.
Dag nabbit. Anywho.
I see two.
There's a okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got to. Well, you know
I
what?
got to check on that second one. It might be a Fanta, but Lance is ready to go.
All right, we got Lance on line 1, ready to rock. Actually, so Lance, good morning, sir. You're with us.
Good morning. I am.
All right, Lance. Favorite band? Who is it?
Favorite band? That's a tough one. I'm going to go with Eric Clapton.
Okay, that'll work. Favorite team? Any sport?
Minnesota North Stars.
Wow. Okay.
Old school.
Man.
Always a favorite.
Dude's rocking some Layla and wearing some North Stars gear. I like it. All right, Lance, good luck to you, sir. We're going to see if you can beat that toaster.
All right.
Lance, my man, let's start out this way. Name some former famous professional boxers. Go ahead.
Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, same guy. Scott Ledoux, Sonny Liston. Oh my God. Brian Burnett. Local guy. The Rice Street. Mike Evian.
Lance, I'm
Tyson.
Boy, he went Ali and then Clay. Sorry, I don't think we can give
corrected
him
himself.
both. I'm sorry to say.
Same guy.
I think
Because Cassius Clay was never a professional boxer, right?
he was.
Did he go I thought when he went professional, he changed it to Muhammad Ali.
Well, you know what? Maybe it was right at the beginning. I feel like he was.
know.
All right, so
Anyway.
I think we got 3 is what I think.
Yeah, there was one right at the end for 4.
Okay,
To
so
make
we
it
got 4, Lance.
Yes.
That's beat the toaster, buddy. Trust me, don't beat yourself up. It's that clock starts ticking and that music starts playing and the pressure's on. You did just fine. Round 2 momentarily, but Lance, we're going to put you on hold. Do we have another contestant ready to go?
We do. Buck is on line 2.
Is that true?
Would I lie about Buck?
Buck, are you with us?
I'm there.
What up, Buck?
How's it going?
Buck, give me your favorite band.
A favorite band, Dire Straits.
Ooh, I like it. All right, favorite team, any sport.
Let's go with the Vikings.
Let's do it.
Let's.
Let's go with them. Let's hope they beat the Giants because
Should be on their banner or their pennant, shouldn't it? Let's go with the Vikings.
let's go with the Vikings. That first month or so is rough. I'm looking at that schedule and getting a little nervous. All right, Buck, we're going to play round 1 of Beat the Toaster. Good luck, sir.
All right.
Mr. Buck, when and where is it perfectly acceptable for a guy to not wear a shirt? Go.
At a beach, at a lake, on a boat, at his house, out in his yard, mom and dad's house, in the shower, in the bathroom, out on the
Wow. All right.
Not at the state
All
fair,
right.
I found out.
Wow. Mom and Dad's house. I like that one.
Well, you know.
Yeah, they're accepting.
It was at 7 or 8.
I got 8.
Yeah, I think Buck went in for 8. So very well played, Buck. It's
Hey, I like walking around without my shirt. So
Oh, boy.
it's a good experience. I was waiting to hear him say the state fair. All right, there's round 1 in the books. It's time to go for round 2. We're back with Lance. Lance, you got 4 in the first round. Buck got 8, so we got to step it up a little bit for round 2. Good luck to you, sir. All right, let's do it.
All right, Lance. Name some fruits that are more than 2 syllables. Fruits that are more than 2 syllables. Go.
cantaloupe, watermelon, banana, tomato. Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Doesn't come up yet?
Oh.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You know,
Right.
don't eat a lot of fruit, do you, Lance?
Blueberry, strawberry,
I just throw them all into a blender.
Right.
boysenberry.
Smoothies.
man.
The boysenberry. There's a good one.
Was that
Boysenberry.
what do you got? What's the count there,
I
Tony?
got 4 on
That's
that
what I
one,
got.
and not,
We got
not
We have a tie
including
game.
Jesus.
We got a
Four
tie.
again.
Yeah, Jesus fruit was not allowed. I'm sorry to say. Lance, you got 8. That means you are tied with Buck. Hang tight, Lance. We're going to go back over to Buck for round 2. Buck, as we sit right now, you're tied with Lance. So one correct answer is going to put you over the top. But we're going to see how far you can take this. Let's just hope you don't get skunked here. Good luck, sir.
All right.
All right, here you go, Buck. Now, if you were a conspiracy theorist, name some things that the government might be hiding from us. Go.
Aliens. The truth about who shot Trump. Who's pulling Biden's strings? Who shot Kennedy?
He's cracking himself up.
He is cracking himself up. Well, you needed one word, aliens, and he was the winner.
Yeah.
But the rest of it was great as well. Buck, well played, sir.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. You're listening to the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zepp, Tony, and Ryder on 92 KQRS.
Right now, Rudy Pavich is in studio with us. Rudy, good morning, sir.
Hi, what's up, man?
I'm happy to see you, my brother. You're at the Comedy Corner Underground, Friday, September 13th and the 14th. I don't even know where to start. We were just talking as we were listening to Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know this. You are the president of the Kansas fan club. Go figure.
Obviously, man.
I mean, it's just been your band from day one.
Yeah, it's like Prison Break with the tattoos, except for mine is Dust in the Wind.
See? Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I have a whole suit of Dust in the Wind lyrics. So
that's a beautiful thing. It's important to never forget where you're coming from and who you really are.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No, that's great. Speaking of classic bands, I want to get your thoughts on this. The band REO Speedwagon. You're familiar with them.
Love REO.
Okay, well, their bass player, who's been with them since 1977, had back surgery last fall. Mm-hmm. And so they had a fill-in bass player for a while. His doctor has given him the all clear to come back. He wants to come back, but the band says he's not able to stand up straight. He doesn't have the posture in order to perform to the ability that their fans expect.
Really?
They're struggling to have him return because they don't feel like he can. They don't like his posture.
Yeah.
And I just thought that's one of those times when I know you have to think, thank God I'm a comedian and I'm not in a band.
Yeah. Well, for the longest time in the 90s, everybody had osteoporosis. I don't know. Do you remember like when everybody was just like dun, 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 and they were all hunched over?
A lot of hunching.
Yeah.
A lot of hunching.
A lot of hunching in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
But I feel like, man, like my family went and saw Three Dog Night a couple of months ago. They were playing the State Theater, I think it was. And they basically said they got, moving dollies to get those guys out there.
Sure.
And I think our expectations of people that have been in this business now for a long time need to really come down, okay? If you can make it on stage and still play your instrument, good enough for me. Yeah.
Willie Nelson's playing Friday night in Somerset. He's 90. I don't think anyone's worried about his posture.
No, not at all. No, not at all.
Get on stage and do what you do. That's what I say.
Yeah.
And plus this bass player in REO Speedwagon, he's got great hair. I mean, just looks like Gandalf up there.
Yeah.
Get the guy back out there.
Yeah, and if he's still able to do it, I mean, at some point, I think the audience is like, if you were to just take one of those Ronald McDonald statues, like the ones where it's just like Ronald with his arm out at a bench at a McDonald's, you can get you could look like that, and I think your audience is just going, as long as you're the original members. For how much I love Lynyrd Skynyrd, there is not another.
Not one.
Why do I want to go see a cover band? No, I want to see original members. So regardless of what they look like, I don't know. I saw, who was it the other day? trying to think. There was somebody I saw the other day where obviously they do not look anything like they did when they were in the 60s.
The Jackson 5.
Sure.
Bay City Rollers.
Yeah, Bay City. Yeah, you're right. I'm trying to think of the name. It was a big thing. Wayne's World. Oh, Frampton. Peter Frampton.
Peter Frampton.
I saw Peter Frampton the other day, and I thought Peter Frampton does not look like Peter Frampton of yore.
No, not at all.
But Peter Frampton can still play,
Of
regardless
course he
of what
can.
he looks like. You see,
That's right.
see these guys up there. Now, there is an exception when you get Vince Neil from Motley Crue, and you go, dude, okay, maybe we do need a CGI hologram version of this band back in the day.
Yeah. Backing tracks, sometimes they're okay.
Yeah, that's fine. But but I think as long as everybody else, if you are able to stand upright, at least to where they can recognize you as a human being playing an instrument, wheel them out there.
I gotta say, I was thinking about this. So, you look at Mick Jagger, who's now 80, and the show he still puts on.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets up every day just to remind the world that you can't be me. Because nobody has ever done what he's doing at the age of 80. And now with the British band Oasis coming back after 15 years away, I thought about an interview I saw with their singer, Liam Gallagher, who does nothing on stage. He stands at the mic, usually with his hands folded behind his back, or he plays tambourine. And that's about the extent of his performance. And I saw an interview with him from 20 years ago, and someone said, why don't you do anything? He goes, because I want to do this when I'm 80. And he goes, what? I'm not going to be like Mick Jagger and set the bar so high I got to work out.
Yeah.
He goes, he's crazy. I goes, I love Mick, but he's got to be on the treadmill all year. I just walk out and sing, I can do this till I die. And I thought, okay, crazy like a fox. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's why we do comedy. There's no load-in.
No.
There's no roadies. You just show up. The mic check is you just literally checking the mic and walking off stage. I saw Alice Cooper the other night on a couple Sundays ago. Did you guys go? Rob Zombie?
Didn't see it, no.
First time I've ever seen Alice Cooper. We looked it up. He's 77, 78?
Gotta be.
Unbelievable show.
Yeah.
Guy brings it.
Yep.
I've never seen Alice Cooper. Obviously, I've heard the legend, and I don't know. I've noticed, I went back and kind of did a deep dive on Alice Cooper, and I realized that all of his female guitar players at the beginning was like, give me somebody I could date. And then he was like, and then it got to the 80s, and he was like, okay, give me somebody who I could be their dad. And then it got to the 90s, he was like, give me somebody I could be their grandpa. And then it got to now, and he's like, okay, give me somebody I could date again. It's weird that it's gone full circle in his like upper 80s. So,
well, these are the standard. These are the steps one goes through. You know, if you want to maintain, if you want that career to go on into the fifth decade, you got to bring it right. It's like the black belt eventually becomes white again. You know, that's what that's all about.
Yeah, you're right.
For our martial art enthusiasts out there. Rudy Pavich is at the Comedy Corner Underground in Minneapolis, 13th and 14th of September. Rudy, though, I mean, big news, man. You got some plans on the horizon. You're moving out.
Yeah, so September 13th, the night that we do the first night of recording, is my 44th birthday. I thought, man,
nice.
What a great way to kind of, mark the occasion. Yep. And then this is the last time I'm headlining in Minneapolis, because after that, I'm moving to Las Vegas. I'm out.
How about that?
Vegas.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Just moving to Vegas. The state of Nevada calls.
Yeah, well, the no state income tax is very, very alluring.
It helps.
That's big.
Yeah.
But the other things are I'm at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club. I've been working there now for the last year.
Yep.
And then just recently got on at Brad Garrett's at MGM Grand.
Very nice.
So between those two, and then also the opportunities that I have with a couple of guys I work with, it just kind of made sense that this was gonna happen. And my daughter is staying here in Minnesota. She doesn't want to leave because First off, I'm glad that she's not. I don't need her out there by herself. No friends, no family. Yeah, that can be a debaucherous place at a young age. So she's staying here. The exact conversation we had when I told her that we were moving was, and I'm not making this up, she was distraught.
And she's how old now?
16.
16.
Yeah, just beside herself. And she was like, you are not going to sell this house. This is where my friends are. This is where my family is. We are not leaving. And I said, well, sweetie, if I sell the house, I can buy you a car. And she goes, what year?
I'll miss this place.
I'll send you links of everything I've been looking at Car and Driver, okay?
Yeah, right.
So she is so kids are very transactional. And the second I said I'll buy you a car, she was like, okay, we can get rid of this house now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's nothing to question about your parenting then. You've cracked the code.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you just, if there's ever a problem, you throw money at it until the problem goes away.
See, that's how that works. By the way, I will. One thing you said, I find Vegas can be a debaucherous city at any age, not just for the youngsters.
Yeah.
Is there a gambling streak in you?
There was.
There was?
It's gone.
Really?
Yeah, I don't do it much. In fact, I've really kind of gotten healthy over the last probably 18 months.
Okay,
Because,
good.
you know, like at some point, I've realized that when they talk about aging is not this sort of straight line up. It's very plateaued.
Mm-hmm.
So you age very fast, and then you get to a spot, and then you stay there for about 6-7 years. And
Very
then you
true.
age very fast,
Yep.
and then you plateau. And when I got to my last plateau, I was noticing the hangovers are a little bit longer. You know, I was in Boston at Laugh Boston this past weekend, and we just got hammered on Saturday. Had the best night of my life. Boston was so much fun. We went to the Cheers bar. We hung out. You know, Boston College had that game against FSU on Monday, so people were already on Saturday. It was college football day, and by the time Tuesday rolled around, that's when I felt normal again.
Yeah.
So I've really gotten healthy. So even the nights where I'm in Vegas, a lot of times when I do Vegas, I'll fly from Minnesota. I get there Thursday. I do the Thursday night 7 p.m. and the 9:30 show, and then I fly out immediately Friday morning at like 7 a.m. to get back here because I have to travel again for shows. And I have realized that if I don't leave the club by 11:30 and get in bed and get at least 5 hours of sleep, I'm done for the weekend.
Sure.
So I've just gotten to that point where now, like, I wake up every day. I got a system. I stretch. I write. I just, meditate. I do things that are healthy now. And Vegas, I'm like the only guy who's going to move to Vegas and get healthier. It doesn't happen that way. Yeah. Everyone's like, you're going to go Nicolas Cage and drink yourself to death. I was like, not anymore. I mean, maybe when I was 27, but not now.
It's honestly as simple as just listening to your body, but that can be really hard to do for a while.
Long time. Yeah. I mean, I have family members that are well into their 60s that still don't listen to themselves. Yeah. It's awful.
No, it's tough. Rudy, but something else too, you moving to Vegas, what that means is some up-and-comer now has a better shot in town. I mean, this is a hell of a comedy community, and we talk about it all the time when comedians come in. It's a great place to get your start. It's a great place to be from, but it's really a great place to leave, too, at some point.
Absolutely, yeah. We were chatting about this, that there was a kid last night, a kid from Duluth, guy named Sam, very funny. I did a show with him last night in St. Paul, and he's moving from Duluth down to Minneapolis. And I said, great time, man, because there is probably like 7 or 8 of us local comics that are either features or headliners that are all moving right now. We're either going to Vegas or LA or New York.
Right.
So there's going to be opportunity for some of these younger kids who are just getting their feet wet in this business to be able to move up a little bit. So, and I think as artists, you have to, and especially a city like Minneapolis, it's very community driven and it's great, but boy, you hear from the guys that go out and they do something for, 5 years in LA, New York, Vegas, Seattle, Nashville, Austin. They all come back and that's where their careers really take off. Yep. But for you to be able to appreciate this place, you have to leave for a little while anyways.
I don't, and in the music world that I come from and I'm still a part of, I've said this many times, so many producers and players that I know from here, they're all back now because they're all my age, 50s, early 60s, but they all left at one point. And this is the best place to start and the best place to return.
Yeah, if by the time I hit the age of 55, if I am not living in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, I'm going to be very distraught. Something went wrong. That is my dream in life. They're like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to move to the middle of nowhere. I want to talk to nobody. I want a flip phone. Like, these are the things I want. I don't want to be connected anymore. Like, I just thought that was the thing. I got to move to a big city, and I got to be in the know, and I got my name on the marquee. Now I just literally need a 12-pack and a lake. And that's all I need. I don't want any more. That's it.
That's a good thing, man. Yeah, my definition of success a few years ago, I realized, I think the new definition is just when I take my cell phone and throw it into a lake.
Yeah.
And then never replace it. That's what it comes down to now.
Yeah, I am so looking forward to that moment in my career when I can have an assistant. With just somebody else, like everyone's gonna sorry, Mom, you got to go through Dale to get to me. All right, you can call him, and then he'll let you know my schedule, and I'll give you a call. I don't know why my assistant's name is Dale.
No, I like it, man. That's strong. Dale. I know it works. It's a man or a woman. There's a lot of Dales out there.
A lot of Dales.
Man, that's fantastic. Comedy Corner Underground in Minneapolis, the 13th and 14th. You said you're recording.
Yeah, so everybody's doing specials nowadays. My numbers for, I've talked about this with like PR firms and stuff. I just don't have those sort of numbers yet to be able to do. And I also don't want to do. I don't want to. The industry will tell you when you're ready.
Sure.
I think there's a lot of people who try to shoehorn themselves into situations, and I was like that for a long, long time.
Right.
And you kind of have to be. You kind of have to be very full of yourself to do any sort of art. But I kind of want the industry to tell me when, okay, now you're ready.
Yeah.
But there's two things. I'm just doing an album. It's not a special. You're not going to be able to see the video on YouTube or Netflix or anything. I just want an album to be able to put it out onto Spotify or just the places, the digital places people can find it. Try to get it onto some of the platforms where you can actually start making money with your audio. But then after that, I'll wait until somebody comes knocking to tell me that I'm ready for that kind of special.
Sure.
Because I would much rather just do something where I feel comfortable with it. And then on top of it, I am tired of these jokes. I am tired of some of these. There's some of these jokes are 4 years old, 5 years old, and I'm done with them. It's been great, but it's time to put them all to rest. Like I made a poster the other day that said, "Blowing out the candles and 5 years worth of jokes," and that is, I'm so
That's
done
nice.
with some of these. Yeah,
sure. No, I got you. It's they're annoying in that they still work. It's hard to let go of something that works.
Yeah. If I got to tell that Blink-182 joke one more time, I'm going to lose it. So,
what was I thinking when I wrote good jokes?
Yeah, I'm going to go Blink-187 on somebody.
Damn straight you are. The Vegas years are looming, man. Life rewards action. Get out there. Go get them.
Buddy. Thank you.
That's
I appreciate
awesome.
That. And thank you, guys. It's been great. Obviously, this won't be the last time our paths cross.
Of course.
It's always great. And I appreciate everything you guys have done, not only for us, but also for... I was watching Chad Daniels' last comedy special, and he thanked the crew at KQ. So that's very nice of him to do.
What I hear in between all that is that we now have a place to crash in Vegas. So thank you.
Absolutely. Anytime you guys want. Yeah. Because you got the backstage passes, and I got the spare bedroom. And this is a match made in heaven, you guys.
We're gonna do it. We gotta exchange schedules. You tell me where you want to go, and as long as you've got. I mean, I like the mattress isn't so important. The mattress pad is really what it's all about. I'll send you some links. Make sure we're all comfortable when we get there.
Absolutely.
September 13th and 14th, Comedy Corner Underground in Minneapolis. You can get tickets at comedycornerunderground.com. Rudy, it's always a pleasure, brother.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
The best of the KQ Morning Show on 92 KQRS.
A small percentage of people, when they go under anesthesia, are alert and mentally aware and know what's happening. And apparently all of those people are listening to the show this morning because, man, we are getting texts and phone calls with people sharing stories. Do we still have a caller on hold right now?
Yeah, Tom from New Brighton should be there. Hey, Tom.
Tom, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
What do you got for us, brother?
Well, this is kind of crazy. About 20 years ago, I had LASIK, eye correction deal, and I'm Irish descent, and redheads anesthesia takes longer to kind of kick in. Happens at the dentist, whatever.
Really?
And I had LASIK eye surgery, and they give you a pill, and that's it. They send me in, and when they did my LASIK, the anesthesia was not working. It was. It was the worst. Not to joke, I think the only thing laying on the table was the back of my head, and them nurses were screaming at me to sit still. And this big machine was making big noises, trying to not whatever. But my corrections, my eyes are okay. But that was probably the most extreme thing I've ever been through.
Oh my!
Holy smokes! I don't know how I've never heard that redheads. It takes longer for redheads for the anesthesia to kick in. I don't think I've ever heard that fact.
Yeah, that's why they're so crazy.
Well, I'm Irish descent. I'm telling you, it's a thing. You go to the dentist and they start grinding away, and it's like, no. You gotta put more in or wait longer.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because I am also of Irish descent, and I same thing at the dentist. When they think it's time to start, I'm always like, no. I need more or just more time.
Really?
It always takes forever, and then it takes forever to wear off. I have way more than most people, so maybe that's the curse of the Irish. And here I thought it was, the micro penis. So I'm sorry, the drinking,
Yeah, maybe they're using the wrong anesthesia. Maybe some Jameson will get the job done.
Yeah,
Teeling.
I'm only half Irish, if that's the case.
Right on. Well, thanks for the call, man. I'm glad the eyes work, although I can't imagine it felt like that was worth it as it was happening. Here's a text on the KQ Talking text line. I had to get intubated because my airway was blocked. It was caused by sepsis. They put me out, or they thought they did. I was fully paralyzed, but fully awake. I could not let them know that I was awake. I heard my mother's voice, who had passed away 2 years earlier, telling me to stay calm. I fully believe she was there with me.
Oh, that's crazy.
Man. Oh, my goodness. I am really,
Why didn't she talk to the doctor then? I mean, why didn't she, instead of saying stay calm, why didn't she just jump into the doctor's head and say, hey, dude's not out. He can feel this crap. I mean, while she's there, come on, Ma.
Yeah, haunt the doctor.
Yeah.
That's my child you're not knocking out.
Yes.
Yeah, here's another one on the KQ Talking text line. I had a filling, drilled and filled, anesthesia, didn't work at all. The dentist told me, well, there's nothing I can do about it now. I can't stop.
Yeah, you can. Just stop.
Just stop. Also, I had a colonoscopy, and I asked the nurse what took so long, and she said, how do you know you were asleep? I said, I wasn't sleeping at all.
Oh.
She said, no, you were snoring, but the truth is I remembered every bit of it.
Wow. Well, I don't know. Some people might enjoy that.
Every glorious minute.
Man.
Oh, God, I know. I did do one time without they don't knock you out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was only halfway. It was a half colonoscopy. What do they call it? An endoscopy or something like that?
Endoscopy, yeah.
Endoscopy, right in the back endoscopy. And uncomfortable, not cool at all. I much prefer to be knocked out.
My buttocks?
Yeah.
I'm just
maybe
thinking
a pinky finger or something.
Nothing to do with anesthesia here, but I know a former doctor that I used to go see, just a GP, worked at a clinic, and he would perform vasectomies, including the one on himself.
Yes, I've heard of that. A couple of people have done that. Yeah, doctors or something like that.
Use a little mirror.
He had another doctor just be there in case to assist, but he said, yeah, man, I've just done so many of these. I figured, well, what the heck? I'll just see if I can do this to myself. And he did, and apparently without any complications.
I can't trim my eyebrows properly in the mirror. It's backwards. I end up, taking a divot out of my eyebrows. This guy's going downstairs. The coin purse, cutting in with a scalpel, I think is how they do it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I couldn't possibly do that. I have a hard enough time like clipping my fingernails.
Yeah,
it's just I'm not going. And there's a vast difference between that and a vasectomy. See what I did there? Here's one. I was having arm surgery to move around a nerve running through my elbow. When they put me under, I was dreaming that I was playing with dogs in a park. I had a toy in my hand. A yellow lab was tugging on the toy, tug of war style. I opened my eyes. The surgeon had my arm extended off the table, yanking my nerve and ligaments into place. I didn't feel panicked at all. I looked to the anesthesiologist. She made a comment and then put me under again. It didn't hurt, and I trusted the people around me. So as the doctor was jerking this guy's arm around to put the nerve and ligaments back into place, he was dreaming that he was playing tug of war with a dog.
Well, cool? I mean, yeah, that's cool.
Palatable.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
Dang.
Man, that is that reminds me of all those times when I was a much younger man. I would be dreaming in a drunken stupor that I was urinating, and then I'd wake up and go, "Oh no!"
Yes.
Jump up and run to the bathroom.
I had one of those roommates. Yeah, caught him peeing in the towel drawer. We were in a dormitory in a college, and we just had a big drawer there in the middle of the two desks, and we put our towels in there. And there he was. Woke up one night just to him taking a whiz in the towels.
Really? Yeah,
which means it wasn't the first time.
No, probably not.
Yeah, there was a day early on in the touring days, and the there's three of us in a hotel room. It was me, our guitar player, and one of the guys on the crew. And I woke up in the middle of the night to hear my guitar player screaming because the crew member was standing, not in the bathroom, but literally over my guitarist's open suitcase and just urinating into the suitcase. Full on.
Yeah. Had a smoking hot date. I took up to Lutzen one weekend and woke up to her peeing in my suitcase, just squatting right over the suitcase.
Into the suitcase.
Yeah.
Right. Was she in her sleep, or was she trying to tell you something?
No, she was drunk. And in her sleep, I think you're right. Maybe she was trying to tell me something. That was a bad review. I'm just going to go piss on your luggage now.
Man.
But I forgave her quickly because, like I said, smoke show for sure. But what about those people that when they do the brain surgery? I remember the guy that got to play the saxophone. He's a musician.
Sure.
And they let him play his, I can't imagine how that, but they let him play his saxophone. There was a violin guy. There was also the sax. Okay. Yeah, there's many of these.
Wow.
I'm looking at a story, actually. Let the guy play his sax during brain surgery. Just, hammering out a Bob Seger tune or something. I don't know.
I think don't they do that because they want to make sure that they're not poking the wrong part of the brain? It's like to assure that what they're doing is not going to have any negative repercussions. It's like, hey, as long as you can still do this, then we're in the right noodle of your brain as long as you're still able to play the violin. Oh, man. I guess that's a better option. I mean, if they said to me, like, listen, you're going to have brain surgery. We need you to stay awake so that we can make sure that you can still get up in the morning and talk about nonsense for 4 hours a day. I might just say, you know what? Don't worry about it. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.